Hey guys, and from the shop, I've got this knife almost done. I'm still sort of just playing with the handle a bit. I just decided to take a break for a while, so got it soaking in WD. You can see I got a little bit of tape on it still, just right at the ricasso, just because I just really don't want to scratch this. You can see what I mean by how I left the grind lines on. These are vertical grind lines. That's horizontal, so it's just one little scratch in that, and it kind of, you could fix it kind of, but not really, because with the handles on, you can't put the blade flat against the belt, so it's kind of, it gets tricky to get scratches out, so I'm being really careful with this one. But you can see this is my two-tone micarta and wood scales with G10 liners. So I just got it soaking now. The handle's almost shaped where I want. I still might touch it up a bit by hand, but it's looking pretty nice. So again, this is just another example of some of the beautiful figures you can get in Bacote. You can see if this thing will focus. Maybe not, just some nice swirls, just naturally occurring swirls in there. So anyway, just a quick update. I'll show you again. I might actually make the sheath for it this afternoon. So maybe if I get that done or mostly done, I'll do a little video at the end of the day showing the complete progress. But I'm really happy with this one. It's turning out nice. I think it's a really nice look. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hey guys, just a quick shot of my progress here. I have the sheath. It's just going to be a basic pouch sheath. I have the sheath part done, as well as this insert, which goes along the edge that the blade will sit on, and that just gives it a bit of a stop so that the blade edge doesn't come right through the stitching that'll be there. So then that will fold over and get stitched there, and that'll create the belt loop. And then there's the profile of the sheath. I might do some basic tooling on it just to give it some little bit of design, but you can see this will be like that, and that's how the knife will sit in it. So when it's covered, there'll just be a little bit of the handle sticking out. It's just a really classic sort of pouch sheath style. So that's the look, and I thought I'd update you guys with that. It's great because the 36 grit belt that I use to grab my knives actually works great for edging the leather, and it lets you get a really nice matched seam and everything like that. So anyway, I'm gonna keep going on this, and I'll show you guys more in a bit. Hey guys, here we are. I have the sheath essentially ready to be stitched, and it's been dyed. I got some really simple tooling done on there. The stitching will go right down the middle groove, and I got some nice kind of looking natural highlights using the dye. So dye the inside, so I got to finish dyeing right there. Then it'll be stitched up. The first thing I have to do is stitch the flap, because obviously once it's stitched closed, I can't get to the inside to stitch that. So the first step is to stitch that down. And you epoxy it first, or use contact cement, and then use a drill press and drill your outline in it, and then stitch it. And if you want, you can dye the stitching, or you can leave it white. I like to dye it, but we'll see. And then after that, you don't even have to wait for that to cure. You can get your insert, which doesn't have to be dyed, because you only ever see the edge and the very end. So you get your insert and you contact cement that down, and you can let that dry first if you want, or you can do both sides and then kind of clamp it closed. Then that'll cure overnight, and then tomorrow you take your drill press and you run your dots along the center, and then you stitch it by hand, and then you're done. And then you have a sheath. And then you can soak it in hot water and put your knife in it and kind of form the leather to the shape of the knife. So I'll be doing that as well, maybe tomorrow. But I have a final exam this Friday and another one next Monday, so eventually here I'm gonna have to stop doing this knife stuff and start studying. But it's just, it's hard to be motivated to do the studying when you can be doing stuff like this. So anyway guys, that's where I'm gonna leave it for this video. I'll show you the completed project, maybe might even be next week sometime when some of my exams are done. So thanks for watching, guys. So here's the finished sheath, guys. Unfortunately, some bad news is that this is the same knife from the beginning of the video. As you can see, it's missing the handle scales that were on it. I was working them and shaping them, and essentially, long story short, is I had a set of these nice two-tone scales I did up, but when I made these, I drilled small holes into the wood and into the micarta, and then right through this G10 spacer. So when I epoxied them, the epoxy would create a stronger bond by going through all the materials. But as you can see, this handle is much smaller than these scales. So when I cut it out and started rounding the scales to form them, I was exposing that epoxy, those little epoxy pins that were hidden in the handle scales. And so I tried to fix it, and I tried to salvage it, but I just wasn't happy. And I plan on selling this blade, so I wouldn't obviously let something go if I wasn't completely happy with it. So I just ground the scales right off the blank. All that's left is some light Dremel scratches before I put the G10 on, or before I put the scales on. I rough up both the steel, and I drill a bunch of holes in the G10 just to let the epoxy really get a good hold. So yeah, the sheath's great though. It's done. It's got some nice natural highlights in it, and you can see it's got some. This is 100% done by me. You kind of saw the progress earlier in this video. So it's got some nice stitching, some nice tooling on it, and the knife it already fits good in there. So once I get the actual scales on, I'll do a nice wet form so it's nice and contoured, and it'll be a great knife. But I think today's little error, if you will, is a good sign that it's time for me to just stay out of the shop for a few days and focus on these exams I got coming up. So this is gonna sit as it is. I'm happy I got the sheath done though. It's always fun doing some leather work. So you can see it's got some really nice natural light spots and dark spots, and I might run some more stain over the stitching just to darken it up a bit, but it's just got a simple pouch style sheath, the belt loop on it, set up for right hand carry. So anyway guys, just thought I'd show you that. It's a little discouraging when you work, literally put hours into shaping handle scales and end up just grinding them off. But I mean, lesson learned. Now I know if I ever make these again, just maybe put one or two of these little epoxy pins right in the center and keep them low towards where the scale will meet the handle of the knife, so that even if I take a lot off, I won't expose any of them. But anyway, lesson learned. Thanks for watching guys, and stay tuned for next time.